All right, I'm here with Barry Ennis.
What's up, Mason?
He's a yogi who's going to give us a great workout today. He studied in India, but he's kind of the anti-yogi. So if you're new to yoga, if you're a little bit nervous about it, this is the guy to get started with.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, let's do it.
Well, the first thing I want to tell you is just building off what you said, Mason. If you've never done yoga before, this is perfect because doing yoga is not actually about what you're physically doing on the mat. It's about what's happening inside of you. So you don't have to worry if you're not doing any of this perfectly. So I just want you to come down to hands and knees. And we're just going to start moving a little bit. Just sit down to the left heel, swoop across to the right, and then come all the way back up. And I love starting off this way because I get a lot of tension in my low back and my hips, and this right away starts to free all of that up. And what's great about yoga is that you're really starting to pay attention to what's happening in not only your body, but also your mind. And what I'll share with you is that that's really powerful for, going through your everyday life. Let's start to go the other way. You can sit down to the right heel now and swoop across to the left. Because, we're gonna come into some uncomfortable poses and positions, and that causes a reaction inside ourselves. And it's not so different from the reaction we have to something challenging in our everyday life. So what we're actually doing here on the mat is teaching ourselves how to contact our challenges a little bit differently, which I think is really cool. So let's come back up, and just from here, I'm gonna fire up the core right away by just hovering the knees off the mat a few inches. And right away, I'm feeling my core engage. This might be hard enough right here. Let's come back down, and we'll give it a try again. Powering up the core, just lifting the knees up off the mat. And we're just gonna build on top of this. And what I want you to do is just notice what's happening in your body. Notice what's happening in your mind. The most important thing is just noticing. It doesn't matter what you think you should be able to do or what you'd like to be able to do. We're just observing. Now, let's go ahead and send the weight all the way back. If you've been a fan of yoga on Instagram, you've seen a lot of down dogs, but we're gonna modify that a little bit and just send the weight all the way back to the heel. So it's almost like we're in a squat position. And this is gonna be an excellent little workout for our spine here and warming it up. From here, just want you to push your hips as high up towards the ceiling as you can. Imagine you're trying to touch your tailbone up to the ceiling. High. And then roll through it. It's almost like a ripple or a wave going through a rope. Have you ever done that before, holding on to one end of the jump rope and you just whip it up and down, see that ripple go through it? That's what I want you to imagine through your spine right here. Just lift one vertebrae at a time, all the way forward to a push-up position. And then from here, continue to roll all the way up through the neck and through the top of the head as you drop your hips down. That might be really hard to do with a lot of control. Hi, Bo. Bo likes this pose. From here, we're just gonna go in reverse. Tuck the chin, lift one vertebrae at a time, rolling all the way back, and coming down into your squat. So we're firing up the lower body, and we're getting a lot of extension through the spine. This is probably gonna feel really good if you have a lot of low back tightness or pain. And we can start to go a little bit faster. Now already I'm starting to feel a lot of heat build up in my body. I'm starting to sweat. Even my arms are starting to shake a little bit. And it's easy to get swept away in those thoughts and feelings. And what our mind likes to do, this is what I learned in India, is it likes what's easy. It tries to escape that. But we're gonna try to just let that wash over us today, allow ourselves to really feel it. It's okay to feel that shake and that sweat. And what we can start to do, and this is why it's called a yoga practice, let's do one more. We can practice changing the way we relate to that sensation. So the first step is acknowledging it. Noticing that it's there. I feel that shake, I feel that burn in my legs. Whew, all right, come down. What happens next? What do I want my response to that to be? I can feel my reaction, and the practice is not getting swept away in it, but mindfully choosing what I want to do next. My mind likes what's easy, so it's going to try to convince me to come down, take a break. But if I can make a different choice, that opens up a whole different world of possibilities, right? So I can perhaps choose to think about that burn or that shake in a different way, recognizing that it's getting me closer to my goals, and that changes the whole way that I think about it. Let's come all the way back up again. Imagine you have a rope tied around your waist that's pulling you up and back towards the wall behind you. You can bend one knee as you straighten the opposite leg. And just give yourself a deeper stretch through the backs of the legs. You know, I actually noticed something interesting on the way over here, Mason. I was driving in the car and I was feeling frustrated with other drivers on the road. And I utilized my yoga practice, and I recognized that I was feeling that way, and I decided that I wanted to respond to that feeling a little bit differently. I recognized that if I let that sit with me, that I would spread that out to other drivers on the road and probably wind up upsetting even more people. So I decided just to smile to the driver next to me, to try to make an energetic shift on the road around me. Maybe that's a little woo-woo, but that's how it works, you know?
That reminds me of that great classic song. All I want to do is thank you while I was driving in my car. Do you know that song?
No, I don't know that song.
I'll sing it for you later.
Yeah.
It's a classic.
So we've got our spine and our hips warmed up a little bit more, and you know, that's like the core of our body. Everything comes out from there, so we're really ready to get moving more now. We're going to come into the sun salutation. If you're not familiar with yoga, this is kind of the core of the practice, and everything kind of builds out from there. So standing at the top of the mat, the hands come together, and we're just going to inhale down, up, and overhead. Every time we make our body bigger, we want to be inhaling because we're creating space for that air to come in. So that means as we come down, we're going to be exhaling. Bring your hands to your shins and just lift your body up halfway. Imagine you're making an L shape with your body. Fold in and place your hands on the mat and then step back. If it's challenging for you to stay in this position, you have the option to lower down to your knees. That's okay. But we just don't want to collapse down to the floor this way. We want to lower down in one straight line. Come to the tops of the feet. It's just like that position we did earlier. The hands are right underneath the shoulders and we swoop forward. Reach through the top of the head. Exhale. We're making our body smaller. Come into your downward facing dog position. Take a look up at the front of the mat. Step back up. If you can't make it all the way up, take as many steps as you need to. Remember, it doesn't matter what we do on the mat, it's how we do it, it's how we relate to it. Inhale, lift through the chin and the chest, come all the way up, and then just bring your palms together. Pretty simple, right? We're going to build on top of that. Inhale, arms down and up. Start to explore into your body. Remember, there's no right way or wrong way to do any of this, despite what you'll see everywhere. The yoga is how we relate to what is happening. So feel into your body. Notice your mental reaction to it. It's okay. This feels hard or tight. Bo, what pose is that? We'll do that later.
That's the back dog.
The back dog.
Happy dog.
Yeah.
He likes what you're saying.
Oh, I'm just loving this. Let's add on a little bit more. We're going to inhale the right leg up into the air, and then exhale, pull the knee in towards your forehead. Stack your shoulders over your wrists, and we're just going to hold this for about 10 minutes, okay?
10 minutes?
I'm just kidding.
Oh.
But that gives you a mental reaction, right?
I'm not even doing it and it gave me a mental reaction.
What is that mental reaction to my telling you that, and how do you want to respond to it? That's what this is all about. One more time, come all the way forward. Try to keep your hips as high as you can so you can set that foot down between your hands. If it doesn't make it there, just grab a hold of it and hop it the rest of the way up. Go ahead and inhale, both arms come all the way up. Then as you exhale, hinge from the waist, send the arms behind you. Reach out through the top of your head. We're just going to pause here for a moment. You can stare at a spot on the ground, and we're just going to focus on our breath and what's happening in the body. And the reason we want to focus on our breath is because it gets oxygen into our body, so it can power it. But I think most importantly, the breath is something that's always happening right now, and that's what we've got to keep our focus on. Don't let our mind get swept away into something that happened already or something that hasn't happened yet. Be here with this pose, this shake in the leg that I'm certainly starting to feel, and then choose your response. My response is, I know that by doing this, I'm breaking down the muscles in my leg a little bit so they can grow back stronger. I'm building mental toughness, which will serve me in other areas of my life as well, like, I don't know, friendships, relationships, at work. When things get uncomfortable, do I get swept away in what my mind wants to do, lashing out or quitting or any of those other negative reactions? Or can I channel it somewhere else? Now from this position, all I'm going to do is turn my back foot flat and drop my arms off to the sides. From here, we're going to add a little bit of a challenge. I want you to change the bend in your knees and sit all the way back onto your left heel. From here, exhale and press all the way back up to that position you're in again. Now, if you don't have a lot of flexibility, feel free to use the ground to give you a little bit of support as you power back and forth. And this is why I'm a little anti-yoga, because this isn't something that you'll see in a normal yoga class. But I like to add in things that are interesting and uncommon, throw you for a loop a little bit, because that gives you a little bit of a surprise. It gets your mind guessing. It gets you in a state of vulnerability. And that's the most important part, getting vulnerable. That's where our mind gets loud, and that's where our practice begins. One more time. Sit all the way back. Now, option one, you can just stay here. Option two, if you want to have some fun with me, place your left hand down behind you, and then use your hips to press all the way up and back down again. Now you got to use that right arm to swoop yourself back up into that position before you power all the way back up into, this is called Warrior Two. Exhale, the hands come down as we pivot up on the back foot, and check it out, we're right back into our plank. We're going to flow all the way through, and guess what? We're human, which means we have two legs, and we have a whole other side to do. You ready? Let's do it. Inhale, the left leg comes up. Exhale, we're going to pull the knee in towards the forehead. Inhale all the way up, and exhale in. Now I can notice in my own mind, I'm not super thrilled about having to do all of this on the other side. It would certainly be easier just to skip it altogether, or, I'm noticing that my mind's telling me stories about what I can or cannot do, even though I haven't even gotten there yet. And how often does that happen to us, right? We're anticipating something hard coming up in our lives, and we shut down and give up before it's even happened. We're going to practice changing our reaction right here on the mat. Exhale, hinge from the waist. Here we go again. Let your eyes close, maybe. Take that journey inward. Just breathe. Be here in this moment. I can notice my mind running all sorts of different directions. And I'm just watching it. That's what the mind does. Let's take one more deep breath. Inhale. Exhale, and then inhale, windmill all the way around. Find your Warrior Two position. So I want to imagine I'm doing this up against a wall or pressed between two panes of glass, making sure that my knee's not collapsing in or I'm not surfing on the mat. I want to stay nice and stacked. Now from here, you know what's coming. We're going to change the bend in the knees. Use the floor if you have to. Come all the way back. Exhale, power all the way up. My heart's beating. I'm a little out of breath, you can hear that. It's hard to talk and breathe at the same time. Exhale. That was the most interesting thing that I learned in India. We didn't even do that much physical yoga. It was all about the philosophy behind it, how to live a more peaceful and powerful life. And it all comes from getting used to being here in this moment and recognizing that we can only control two things, our attitude and our action. And what's funny is we try to control everything else. We try to control the people around us. Bless you. Can't control the coughing when it comes, but you can control your reaction to it, right? Can't control what happens on the road or what happens at work, but we can only control our reaction to it. Good. One more time, sit all the way back. Here we go. Send the right arm behind you as a little kickstand. Use your left hand to lift yourself all the way up and then ease yourself back down. Swoop that left arm forward and then power yourself all the way back up to your warrior two. Take an inhale, big sigh, and release the hands down. Excuse me, Belle. Come all the way back. Lower yourself down. With an inhale, come forward, lift through the top of the head. Then with an exhale, lower down to your knees and come all the way back into child's pose. What do you think about all of that, Mason?
Dude, I thought that was awesome. I love the thought of being vulnerable and working through something you're going through with yoga.
Absolutely. You're putting yourself in an environment that you can control and practicing how you want to be in every other part of your life.
Dude, that was an awesome workout. Here's your towel.
Thank you.
Thank you, buddy.
Yeah.
Bo, you're blocking the shot.
Come over here, Bo. We'll do a family
This
shot.
is Barry Ennis. He's got a couple other videos here. Check them out. Thank you so much for being here, buddy.
Yeah,
that was
thanks,
awesome.
Mason.
See ya.
See ya.
Hey, before you go, I just want to say I know you're serious about your health and fitness because you just finished that workout. And I want to give you a free gift to help you accelerate and crush those fitness goals. My name's Mason Bendewald, and I produced and directed P90X, Daily Burn, 10-Minute Trainer, and hundreds of other workouts, getting a gazillion people in the best shape of their lives. And now I want to help you do the same thing. All right, so here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna give you as a free gift a MEGAMACE members only workout. It's a premium workout and there is no catch. All you have to do is click on the link below in the descriptions, do the workout, and start getting results. All right, if you haven't already, please click on that little bell here on YouTube, set your notifications so you never miss a free MEGAMACE workout. You can also subscribe, leave us a comment, give us the old thumbs up. We really appreciate that. But whatever you do, don't miss out on this free video so you can accelerate and start crushing those goals. I'm Mason Bendewald. Thank you so much for joining.